What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's amazing how cool it has gotten. It literally seemed like it was just last week that it was like 95, 100 degree weather. And now it's actually chilly in the air. This is the weather that I love the most. I love when you get that cool crispness at night. This is where I love being at the red brick house. You open up the windows, and by the morning time, you've got that cool, crisp, morning mountain air and stuff on there. There's nothing better than that. And of course, this is truly football weather. This is where football is in full swing. And we're already in week number 3 of the NFL season. The Jets are destroying the New England Patriots, and the Patriots, they got a long ways to go. They got a hell of a long ways. They are just terrible. Poor Jacoby Brissett is getting the crap beat out of him because that team just stinks. It's just terrible. So we have the Dallas Cowboys with this weekend with a tall task. Baltimore, even though they're 0-2, Lamar Jackson is a formidable quarterback, and that running game and Derrick Henry coming to town after being dissed by the Cowboys is going to be difficult. And especially knowing that Baltimore's strength is running the football, Cowboys' weakness is stopping the run. But this is an opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys to really make some hay. When we looked at the schedule going forward, Philly 500 said we could start out 2-5 or 3-5, something like that, and literally be done, as he put it early on. So a lot of people going into the season looked at this and said, we were going to lose to Cleveland, and maybe we beat New Orleans, but we're going to lose to Baltimore. So they already had us losing that one. Vegas installs us as a home underdog by 1 point. So Vegas has no faith in us. All of this makes me actually feel better because what always seems to happen is whenever the Cowboys are expected to beat somebody, that's when they don't. When we're expected to do something, we don't. We were expected to beat Green Bay, and Green Bay kicked our teeth in. We were expected to beat the Cardinals, and they kicked our teeth in. We were expected to lose to the Eagles, and we beat them. It makes no rhyme or reason. And I still will go on and say that at this time of the year, you still really don't know what the teams are. There are going to be some teams that started out this season. And now that we have a 17-game season, I think that could actually potentially skew the numbers where they say, starting off 0-3, your chances of making the playoffs aren't good. But I look at this and say, that gives you more time to recover, where you've got some more games that you could make up, or, where people can falter down the stretch. It's hard to maintain being good wire to wire. The Eagles started out being good first half of the season, second half implode. The Green Bay Packers started off being terrible the first half of the season, were better in the second half. And for those Green Bay Packer fans that are out there that are swearing that Jordan Love is the iteration of Joe Montana and everything else, I'm going to say pump the brakes a little bit, because we've seen quarterbacks have a really great year and never live up to the hype again. I will give you Deshaun Watson, who in 2020, everybody said he's a top 5 quarterback. And I kept saying, but they're on a 4-12 team. And they're like, oh, you're just talking, Dak's numbers don't count because, those are in garbage time. Okay. Be that as it may, Deshaun Watson had one great year and has never been anywhere close to being that guy again. Justin Herbert, his second year, was great, but he hasn't been that guy the last couple of years, even though he got paid. Trevor Lawrence, their team's 0-2, and he's never been that guy if he got paid. So be that as it may, we may be looking at the same thing with Jalen Hurts, where Jalen Hurts had that great year. They went to the Super Bowl. Last year was not great. This year, it's not starting off quite as good either. And he's had more turnovers than anybody else since the beginning of last year. So you don't know what you don't know. But this is a chance for the Cowboys to get right and to make a statement, and especially at home. You don't want to go 0-2, 1-2, even though you have the Giants on Thursday night. You've got a chance to turn things around with that game and get to 2-2. If you could get this game right here with Baltimore and get some momentum going into Thursday night, then you got a break before you got your next game. You have an opportunity to get yourself right, get some extra time in, to let your guys recover, like Peyton Hendershot and things like that, Deron Bland, to get him back out here and things, and start making a run and stacking up some victories to try and be in a better position. And I say that this may be a good opportunity because I don't know that the Eagles will be going to New Orleans can be the ones to knock off New Orleans. Maybe if it was in Philly, I'd say they'd have a better chance, but playing in New Orleans is a tough road to hoe. And as bad as our defense is, or played this second game, we at least showed some signs of life in the first week. You could look at the Eagles' defense and say they were bad against Green Bay, but Jordan Love just couldn't take advantage of it because his passes were so far off the mark. And football, it's a crazy sport. It's crazy. You never know what's going to happen. So, will our running back by committee get their shit together and do better? Well, a lot of that's going to be on the offensive line. And I still think we need more time to bake this cake. We need a little more time to get this offensive line together and working together. And I think we're going to be okay. I'm not ready to hit the panic button just yet. So that's where we are, people. Week number 3 of the NFL season, where we have time to right the ship, but we don't have time to waste. You know what's funny is getting the other channel back and being able to go back and see some of the content, because it's like literally it stopped 5 years ago. And as I look back on some of these videos and I look at where we had like inactive Taco Charlton, Trayvon Austin, and Alan Hearns, it's funny because we're still doing the exact same things over and over and over again, expecting a different result. The Cowboys bargain basement shopping at the last minute, during training camp, trying to get a player here and a player there instead of going out and just getting a stud. You could look and say, maybe if the Cowboys, instead of going through all of the bottom tier guys that we have to get on the defensive line and putting a Jordan Phillips on injured reserve now, that maybe they would have been better off going out and paying money to get one real stud to go on the defensive line. I hope that the Cowboys aren't done and aren't going to say, this is it, this is all we're going to do. I hope that this team looks at it and says, we have an opportunity here with San Francisco having all the injuries that they have, with the Eagles having their defensive struggles, with Green Bay having problems with Jordan Love being injured and not looking like the same guy, that if you can get your shit together, you got a chance. With that being said, I'm going to go to bed. I got some work I got to do tomorrow, and so on. It was crazy because last night, just like I am right now, doing my fireside chat, I always end this by saying, tell the people you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance again. And as soon as I finished and went inside, I got a text message from Gina Dallas Diva letting me know that her mother had passed. It's right around us, guys. Every day we get reminders of that. that life is short and life is precious. And so you got to make the most of it. I love you guys. And make sure you tell the people around you how you feel about them. Might not get the chance again, good people. Peace out.